All right, well, we keep hearing all the data that says a vast majority of illegal immigrants in our country never commit crimes, but there are certainly exceptions. This is shocking new video obtained exclusively by NewsNation showing the moment an illegal immigrant used a sledgehammer to smash into a Texas rancher's home. Border Patrol quickly arrested the suspect, but sheriffs along the border tell NewsNation crimes like this are becoming all too common. Now, this, of course, comes after President Biden's fiery State of the Union address last night. He talked about the crisis at the border and also called on Congress to pass a bipartisan bill to fix it. So with that, let's go straight to NewsNation's Allie Bradley live in Del Rio, Texas for us tonight. Now, Allie, terrifying moment there caught on camera. We just showed part of it. What can you tell us about it?
Yeah, what's even more shocking there is this is one of the only times on record that they've actually been able to apprehend the person responsible for committing those crimes. And Lon Ratley, he has lived along the Rio Grande for around 20 years. This is just outside of Langtree in Terrell County. Now, Lon Ratley, he gets an alert on his phone because he's away from his home. He looks down. There's a man walking around inside of his living room. Lon Ratley is a retired Air Force colonel, and he says that this situation that he kind of encountered here was really shocking to see. He was really frustrated, too, because he had no way of doing anything. So what he did here in this situation, this individual, he broke through one of the lower windows using a sledgehammer. You can kind of see the curtains move there, and then you can see that individual in the home. So he actually broke into that house, and then Border Patrol was luckily very close by. Now, this is very rare. This county is so vast, and it is not likely that Border Patrol would ever be nearby, but they were. They were at a ranch near the Ratley house, and it was about 20 minutes. They showed up, they walk around outside, they see the damage, then they go inside. That gentleman kind of puts his hands up. He's on the phone with someone, and what was interesting here, too, is Lon Ratley tells us that that individual from Mexico, he's in his 20s, he was apparently looking for a phone. He claimed that he saw a phone in that house, and that's why he was trying to get in there. Lon says there was no phone in that house. The individual himself had a cell phone and was on it talking with someone when Border Patrol arrived. So they are working on investigating this right now, Connell. They're trying to figure out who this man is, why he was in there, what he wanted, because Lon said there really is nothing to take in that house. Lon is pressing charges right now. That individual, he didn't go to Border Patrol. Instead, he got turned over to Terrell County Sheriff Thad Cleveland. He is sitting in the jail right now facing multiple charges, including charges for criminal mischief, Connell.
Well, it's crazy video, as you say, Allie, but, you know, when you speak to people, you mentioned the sheriff, for example, what do they tell you about the data overall? Have they seen an increase in break-ins?
Yeah, so actually there's some stats here that Sheriff Thad Cleveland gave us. He says that there has been a 418% increase in crime in his county from 2020 to 2023. Now, he attributes that to the increase in activity in the area. They see a lot of people who are trying to evade out there. Again, this is a very remote area. This is not like Eagle Pass. This is not like what you see where people are self-surrendering. These people are walking for miles in rough terrain, and then they come across these ranch houses that are pretty isolated. So it's pretty scary out there. And what else that makes this really unique is, I said it's the first time that they've ever caught somebody. Yes, that is unique. But also, this is happening in part because some of the people living out there, they split their time in other places. Like they don't even know that these crimes are happening for days or even weeks out. So they're not even going reported a lot of times. They can't get there in time because it's been days since these homes were broken into. Now, another scenario that the sheriff says is playing out regularly out there is because it's so remote and the terrain is so rough, it's very rare that law enforcement can actually respond. Take a listen to what the sheriff had to say there.
As you can see here, very little infrastructure. That's why we don't see the great numbers that you do in other locations, because there's not enough infrastructure to get a lot of people out, nor get them out of the area. The hardest thing I can ever do as a patrol agent charge or a sheriff is when someone calls me and say, Lon, I don't have anybody to send, or I can't respond right now. And not just to Lon, but many of our landowners. And that happens a lot because at times we're overwhelmed by the amount of people crossing the border here in Terrell County.
So Sheriff Cleveland, he served our nation. He's also a former Border Patrol. He knows exactly what's going on at that scene down there. Now, when it comes to the individuals who live in Terrell County, Sheriff Cleveland tells me what's really interesting here, Connell, is a lot of them leave their doors and their windows unlocked. They leave food and water out because they know that individuals are likely going to show up at their house, and they would rather just take it and leave than break in. And that's exactly what happened here last night. So we just got some exclusive reporting from Sheriff Cleveland that 3 Mexican nationals actually attempted to break into a barn in Terrell County because they had been walking for 20 miles to get from Mexico into where they had gotten, and they were looking for food and water. So there are holes all over in this barn where they were trying to break in, and the homeowners there, they're not pressing charges because they had sympathy for the situation that these individuals had walked so far, and they're just looking for food and water. So they're not going to press charges, but they were turned over to Border Patrol, and Sheriff Cleveland says with those individuals, they will be returned to Mexico. Connell.
Crazy stuff. Allie Bradley live tonight in Del Rio, Texas. All right, thank you, Allie.
Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.